Hello, we're looking at the Newcomers book, lesson 68, Weight and Mass. Weight and mass. The big idea is we can measure the weight and mass of objects. Say that with me. We can measure the weight and mass of objects. Now, these are words that you need for science and math. And I'm sure you know these in your first language. Let's make sure you know them in English. Weight. We can measure the weight of objects. Weight, for example, we could measure how many ounces. A pound is 16 ounces. A ton is 2,000 pounds. So how many ounces is in a ton? You'd have to multiply those together and get 32,000 ounces. Okay. Mass. For example, gram. Kilogram is 1,000 grams. Metric ton is 1,000 kilograms. So we have the English system of weight and the metric system of weight. And let me write that for you. The metric system, which is what most of the world uses. The English system is used by former English colonies, such as the United States. Okay. Okay, so when we think about weight, we are looking at a continuum of things that are light and things that are heavy. And things that are heavy, we see the arrow going down, not up, because we're thinking of gravity, right? The heavier it is, the harder it'll fall. Okay, so elephant. An elephant weighs 3 tons. An elephant is heavy. An elephant weighs 3 tons. Infant, a baby. The infant weighs 7 pounds, 2 ounces. And this is very light, a stamp. These stamps weigh 1 gram. Just 1 little gram. So going from light to heavy. How much does it weigh? And let's look at the language. Okay. Weighs. Weighs. We use that with singular nouns. The cat weighs 8 pounds. That's a big cat, 8 pounds. The cat weighs 8 pounds. Weigh. We use that for plural nouns. Stamps, right? More than one. Stamps weigh 1 gram. We use about for estimates, almost for estimates, and around. The cat weighs about 8 pounds. Okay. The elephant weighs about 3 tons. It's an estimate. We're not exactly sure. Okay. About, almost, around. Okay, so now we're going to look at some sentences and practice this. Let's look at the first 10. Okay, so hear it and then say it. Listen and then say it. Following the red arrow, please. Number 1, listen. Weight tells how heavy something is. Your turn. Weight tells how heavy something is. Number 2, listen. We can use a scale to measure weight. Your turn. We can use a scale to measure weight. A balance is one kind of scale. A balance is one kind of scale. Listen. An ounce is a small unit of weight. An ounce is a small unit of weight. A pound is 16 ounces. A pound is 16 ounces. A ton is 2,000 pounds. A ton is 2,000 pounds. The mass of something also tells its weight. The mass of something also tells its weight. A gram is a very small unit of mass. A gram is a very small unit of mass. A kilogram is 1,000 grams. A kilogram is 1,000 grams. A metric ton is 1,000 kilograms. A metric ton is 1,000 kilograms. As a balance here, a balance. You've seen these before. You put something on one side and you balance out the two sides to make them equal. That's a type of scale, a balance. Sentences 11 through 20. Before we, oops. Can I get that out of there? Yay. Okay, let's look at the word heavy. Say heavy and light. What if I want to say heavier? What do I need to do with the spelling? I'm going to change the Y to I and add ER. Heavy, heavier. So remember when we have our comparative and superlative adjectives? Heavier, and it is the heaviest. Heavier, heaviest. Then we have lighter, and I don't have to change anything, just adding ER. Lighter, lightest. Okay, oops. Heavier, heavy, heavier, heaviest. Light, lighter, lightest. Okay, let's read. First listen, then say it with me. How much does each object weigh? How much does each object weigh? An elephant is heavy. An elephant is heavy. A feather is very light. A feather is very light. The elephant weighs 3 tons. The elephant weighs 3 tons. These stamps weigh 1 gram. These stamps weigh 1 gram. The infant weighs 7 pounds 2 ounces. The infant weighs 7 pounds 2 ounces. The baby is heavier than the stamps. The baby is heavier than the stamps. The baby is lighter than the elephant. The baby is lighter than the elephant. The size of an object doesn't show its weight. The size of an object doesn't show its weight. Some really big objects are light. Some really big objects are light. Okay, now we're going to do musical partners, practicing these sentences. Hello, we're looking in the Newcomers Vocabulary Building Book. Lesson 69 is called Capacity, and these are very helpful words for us to review. They're helpful also in science classes. Okay, so the big idea. The big idea, capacity is a measure of how much a container can hold. Say it with me. Capacity is a measure of how much a container can hold. Capacity. All right, so we have two systems of measurement again. We have our metric system, or we have milliliters and liters. Okay, so a liter is 1,000 milliliters, and a milliliter is 1/1000th liter. Okay, our customary, our English system: cup, pint, quart, half gallon, gallon. So a cup of milk is 8 fluid ounces. A pint is 2 cups. So how many ounces? 2 times 8, so 16 ounces. And 16 ounces. A quart is 2 pints. So 2 pints, in other words, it's 4 cups. Okay? And if you want to figure out how many ounces that is, 4 times 8. That's right, so this is 32 ounces. Half a gallon is 2 quarts. Okay, 2 quarts. And a quart is 2 pints, and a pint is 2 cups. So what does that mean? Half a gallon is 8 cups. And how many ounces in 8 cups? 8 times 8, 64 ounces. And a gallon is 128 ounces, or 16 cups, 4 quarts. So this is still very commonly used today. In a grocery store, you're going to see maybe pints, like a pint of Yahoo, but you'll definitely see quarts, half gallons, and gallons. What do we see in liters? We see water, actually, in half liter and full liter sports bottles, and we see soda sold in liters. But milk is sold in the customary cups, pints, quarts, half gallons, and gallons. Okay. Let's look at our language development first. When do we use any and when do we use some? Is there any milk? Yes, there is some milk, or no, there isn't any milk. Again, is there any milk? You say it. Is there any milk? Yes, there's some milk. Yes, there is some milk. No, there isn't any milk. And remember, isn't is not. The contraction is isn't. Let's look at these. Do we have, okay, let's go back. Do we have any, make it a little smaller. Do we have any ice cream? Do we have any ice cream? There is ice cream in the freezer. There is some ice cream in the freezer. Do we have any more soda? There isn't any soda in the refrigerator, or yes, there is some. So we don't say yes, there is any. Yes, there is some. Let's practice reading this together. Do we have any ice cream? Do we have any ice cream? Yes. Okay. There is some ice cream in the freezer. There is some ice cream in the freezer. Do we have any more soda? Do we have any more soda? There isn't any soda in the refrigerator. There isn't any soda in the refrigerator. Yes, there is some in the refrigerator. Yes, there is some in the refrigerator. Okay, and do we know what these are? This is a measuring cup. Measuring cup. Measuring cup. What is this called? Yes, it's a spoon, but it's a large spoon used for cooking. Used to measure ingredients when cooking. That's called a tablespoon. A tablespoon. And this is a smaller one. It's called a teaspoon. Now, we don't eat with these. We use these to measure ingredients when we are cooking. Tablespoon, teaspoon. And in recipes, it's written this way: big T, little t. And of course, cup. Okay, she is filling and emptying. Filling it, emptying it. Fill and empty. Okay, let's practice our sentences. The first 10. So you will listen and then you will practice saying it. Number 1. Capacity tells how much something holds. Capacity tells how much something holds. Cups and gallons are units of capacity. Cups and gallons are units of capacity. A fluid ounce is equal to 2 tablespoons. A fluid ounce is equal to 2 tablespoons. A cup holds 8 fluid ounces. A cup holds 8 fluid ounces. 2 cups make a pint. 2 cups make a pint. A quart is 2 pints. A quart is 2 pints. 2 quarts is 1/2 gallon. 2 quarts is 1/2 gallon. A gallon is 4 quarts. A gallon is 4 quarts. A liter holds a little more than a quart. A liter holds a little more than a quart. There are 1,000 milliliters in a liter. There are 1,000 milliliters in a liter. Let's look at the next 10. Americans use customary units of measure. Americans use customary units of measure. Some people use the metric system. Some people use the metric system. Let's change that to most. Most people in the world. Most people use the metric system. Most people use the metric system. Some containers hold liquids. Some containers hold liquids. Capacity is the amount a container holds. Capacity is the amount a container holds. This cup contains milk. This cup contains milk. Empty the cup of milk. Empty the cup of milk. Fill the measuring cup with milk. Fill the measuring cup with milk. We use a measuring cup for recipes. We use a measuring cup for recipes. There are 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon. There are 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon. Use the teaspoon to measure the milk. Use the teaspoon to measure the milk. And now we're going to practice with partners. Capacity. So we're looking in our newcomers book, lesson 70, farming. The big idea. Farmers grow crops, and raise animals. Farmers grow crops and raise animals. You say it. Great. Now let's look and explore. Farming gives you many things you use. So what things do we use? If you eat meat, this is called beef from a cow. If you drink or eat dairy from cow milk, we have milk. Could be yogurt, cheese. So beef, dairy. This is leather from the cow's skin, used for many things. Shoes, furniture, leather. This is a catcher's mitt from baseball. So a leather mitt, a leather glove, and socks made from wool, which is the fur from sheep. So beef, dairy, leather, wool. This is a farm, and this is called barn. Barn. Okay. Farmers harvest their crops. Harvest means they are cutting down the growing plant, the corn here, so that it can be turned into food we can eat. Sold in the grocery store like this, or turned into cornmeal, masa, etc. Farmers harvest their crops. They grow vegetables and grains. Can you say grains? Grains. They grow vegetables and grains. They raise cattle for milk and meat and leather. So listen and talk. Farming is a very important industry. Again, farming is a very important industry. I say it and then you say it with me. Farming is a very important industry. Together. Farming is a very important industry. Me. Farmers live and work on a farm. Everyone. Farmers live and work on a farm. Me. Farmers harvest their crops. Everyone. Farmers harvest their crops. Me. They grow vegetables and grains. Everyone. They grow vegetables and grains. Me. Farmers raise livestock like pigs and cows. Farmers raise livestock like pigs and cows. Some people eat the meat of animals. Some people eat the meat of animals. Fabric is made from the wool of sheep. Fabric is made from the wool of sheep. Dairy products like butter come from cows. Dairy products like butter come from cows. A herd of cattle lives on the farm. A herd of cattle lives on the farm. Farmers raise cattle for milk and meat. Farmers raise cattle for milk and meat. The animals live in a barn. The animals live in a barn. The farmers feed hay to the cattle. The farmers feed hay to the cattle, the cows. The children feed the cows in the morning. The children feed the cows in the morning. Some farmers raise chickens too. Some farmers raise chickens too. Beef comes from a cow. Beef comes from a cow. Does pork come from a pig? Does pork come from a pig? Rice grows in wet fields. Rice grows in wet fields. Leather is used for clothing and shoes. Leather is used for clothing and shoes. Bread is made from wheat. Bread is made from wheat. Wool comes from sheep. Wool comes from sheep. And we're going to practice with partners as we go through the room. Different partners when I ring the bell.